Hello, dear viewers of my channel about narcissistic abuse. With this video title, I don't want to scare you and program you into thinking that a relationship with a narcissist always leads to oncology. It certainly doesn't. But cases when victims of narcissists living with them for a long time acquired this disease do occur, and it can hardly be called a mere coincidence. Despite the fact that official medicine does not name the exact causes of oncology, doctors who were directly involved in the treatment of different cancer patients noted that almost all patients had a similar psycho-emotional state that preceded the beginning and development of the disease. That is, first these people had a certain inner state of mind, and then the disease appeared. You can find information about this in open sources. This is not to say that a certain state of mind will necessarily lead to cancer, but it is one of the factors that increase the risk of this or other diseases. In my book, Narcissist, Victim, Rebirth, I list the major consequences of living with narcissists. One consequence is changing of psycho-emotional state, which leads to psychological illnesses ranging from major depression to more serious mental health problems, as well as physical illnesses. But mental and body illnesses are far from the only consequences of psychological abuse over you. You can download the book at the link below this video and save yourself years of your life. With this video, I just want to once again push you to think about the dangers of living with narcissists for a long time. And if you are still hoping that the narcissist will change or that you yourself can change him, then think about yourself first and foremost. About your mental and physical health near this person, which is slowly and maybe not even slowly destroyed, while you hope for the best. I advise you to watch this video to the end, as well as my other videos about narcissists. So, I suggest you listen to the psycho-emotional states experienced by cancer patients before the onset of the disease and compare it to what the victim experiences when in constant contact with a narcissist. For example, when the victim is living with the narcissist in a marriage in the same house. 1. Deep resentment, repressed anger, or even hate. Psychologists and esotericists say about the fact that prolonged resentment and repressed negative emotions destroy the body. Often all responsibility is put on the person who is offended because only he is able to cope with this offense, to get rid of it. But the problem is that it is much easier to get rid of resentment and anger at the narcissist for all the pain that he has caused you. When you no longer live with this person and do not contact him, it is difficult for a victim who lives with a narcissist to get rid of these negative feelings because the narcissist provokes the victim to experience these feelings over and over again. The victim often has to suppress these emotions because any attempt to talk to the narcissist and make her feelings known to him ends in a scandal, as a result of which the narcissist blames the victim again. It's a vicious cycle. The narcissist causes the victim to feel anger, resentment, and even hate. The victim is forced to suppress these feelings. The narcissist again provokes the victim with his behavior. Negative emotions are accumulated in the victim's mind, and it continues until all this negativity does not turn into some disease, deep depression, or the victim has a nervous breakdown. 2. Increased sensitivity to everyday situations. When a person reacts very painfully to situations that could be reacted to calmer, when he or she experiences deep mental trauma and cannot understand that. The problem is that the narcissist so shakes up the psyche of his victim that she becomes hypersensitive, irritable, irascible, and this affects not only the victim's state of mind, but also her entire life as well as her worldview in general. It is like suddenly poking a person with a sharp needle from time to time. It is impossible to get used to it. It is impossible to stop reacting to it. 3. Bad self-acceptance, strong self-criticism. A person is constantly dissatisfied with himself, may even outright hate himself, often criticizes himself, may strive for the ideal, may be a perfectionist. I think it's no secret that the narcissist destroys the victim's self-esteem and constantly demands changes from the victim. The victim must please the narcissist, adjust to his ideals, and earn his love. The narcissist demands that the victim be better and better, but the victim will never be good enough and conform to the narcissist's perceptions. The victim begins to see flaws in herself, even where they objectively do not exist. Even if before meeting a narcissist, you were fine with self-esteem, while living with a narcissist, your self-esteem can drop below 0. 4. Prolonged chronic stress. Stress always leads to consequences, and the consequences can be individual for everyone. Someone begins to get sick, someone gets bad habits, someone becomes dependent on antidepressants, someone begins to show dangerous or even associative behavior. The victim is constantly stressed near the narcissist. This includes the constant unknown, the fact that it is impossible to predict what the narcissist will be like with you today, a fluffy bunny or a monster. 5. The feeling of being unwanted, the feeling of helplessness, not understanding how to live on. These are also all things that victims of narcissistic abuse experience. Stress, low self-esteem, constant provocations of the narcissist immerse the victim in a sense of hopelessness, in a gray picture of the world when life seems hard and dangerous, difficulties insurmountable, and the future unknown. 6. Lack of purpose, inability to find one's place in the world. The narcissist defines for the victim only one place in this world. It is to be his shadow, resource, tool, servant. The narcissist is not interested in the personal and career growth of his victim. Many victims who had good career perspectives simply lost all these prospects near narcissists and became gray housewives or errand boys, so as not to provoke the narcissist to jealousy and envy of the success of victims. Near the narcissist, it is difficult to make plans and set goals. Life with a narcissist is a life of constant unexpectedness. You cannot predict your life even for 1 week or month living near a narcissist. What to talk about more global purposes? In addition to these main reasons, you can also identify many secondary reasons that are somehow related to what I have already listed. As you understand, it is very difficult to get rid of these negative mental states at the snap of a finger, and it is almost impossible to do living near a narcissist. You can work on your mental state as much as you want, but the narcissist will still bring you back to the usual gray swamp in which you will continue to hate yourself, him, and life in general. I advise you to take a free online mental health test to determine the state you are in now. You'll find the link to the test in the description below the video, together with a link to my book about narcissists. Don't be surprised if the test shows that you have deep depression, low self-esteem, and anxiety. This is a typical effect of living or communicating long-term with any narcissist. Like I said, if you find you have all 6 of the signs I listed, it doesn't say you need to panic that it could lead to cancer. You don't need to attract more problems into your life with negative thoughts. On the contrary, you will need to learn how to change your thinking after experiencing psychological narcissistic abusive behavior if you want to forget that experience like a bad dream and start a new happy life. However, the fact that the signs I have listed do not necessarily lead to cancer, does not mean that they can be taken lightly and ignored. All of these factors can lead to other consequences that simply spiral you into a vortex of problems from which it is difficult to get out. For example, chronic stress always affects the human body, at least on the appearance. At most, stress reduces immunity and triggers the mechanism of appearance of other serious unpleasant diseases, for example, cardiovascular and digestive tract problems. With this video, I want to bring you the message that living with a narcissist is not just a bad experience. It's not just living with someone who has a bad temper. It's not just a partnership where you and the narcissist aren't right for each other because you're different. No, living with a narcissist is a story that is literally dangerous for you and needs to be stopped immediately. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I would be glad if the information in my videos and my book helps you understand who narcissists are and helps you make the right decision. No person, and especially a narcissist, is worth your health and life.